Well, hello. Good to have you tuned in here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. Getting underway for a brand new week, and it is good to have you tuned in. I am Jerry Usher, along with Debbie Georgiani. We have the show team in place, affiliates. Thank you for carrying the program. And now all we need is you, the Take Two family, to call in and make this another great program. And Debbie, I think a lot of people are going to have something to say about today's topic.
Oh, I think the phone lines are just going to light up for St. Anthony. That's right. Dear St. Anthony, please come around. There's something lost and must be found. Have you ever said something like that to St. Anthony and he has just been there for you right away, and you found that special thing that you were looking for because you called upon St. Anthony? He's just a saint that is a doctor of the church, a saint that is so loved. He was a great preacher. He loved the poor. Just an amazing saint. And everybody, we were just talking about this, everybody feels like he has a unique relationship. Everybody feels like they have a unique relationship with him, right? You just said, St. Anthony's my guy. You said that, Jerry. And Charles said that as well. Charles is at the boards, by the way. He's at the controls. And I'm saying he's my saint. Is he your saint? That's what we want to hear. 833-288-3986.
Yeah, and his feast day is it is celebrated in June, so we're a few months apart from that. But we just thought, at least I think I put this on the show calendar, Debbie. I must have, because I have had a number of things go missing lately, and I can't say this strongly enough. I haven't gone more than 2 minutes without finding some of these things that I'm looking for. And St. Anthony's help, his prayerful intercession from heaven. Have you experienced this in your life? Something, maybe you misplaced your car keys. Maybe it was something even more important, like a credit card or, a birth certificate or some kind of an important document. So let us know if St. Anthony has come to your help through your prayers to him and, of course, his being in the presence of Christ and being able to hear and answer our prayers. 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986.
My late mom had a strong devotion to St. Anthony. She, maybe because she was the mom of 6 kids, so we were losing a lot of things. She would always say, go to St. Anthony, go to St. Anthony. Right away, she would say that. And he never disappointed. I mean, this is a saint that walked this earth born in Lisbon, Portugal, died in Italy in the late 1100s, 1200s, right? That's a long time ago. But he's been helping souls ever since then. As a matter of fact, when he died, there were so many miracles attributed to him. He was canonized really right away. And like I said, being a doctor of the church, a great preacher, he had such a great love for the poor, just an amazing Franciscan friar. Love St. Anthony. I know he's the patron saint of Portugal, but Italy claims him as their own, because I believe his part of his throat and his tongue are displayed in Italy, in Padua.
I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's amazing. So St. Anthony, all things St. Anthony today, phone lines are lighting up. And yes, that's the beauty of our saints. Remember, we talked about this, about the Blessed Mother. When the Blessed Mother, in apparitions, it was said that those that saw the Blessed Mother said it was like they were the only person in front of her. She focused so intently on them. And that's how the saints are with us too. So yes, St. Anthony can be your favorite saint. He's my favorite saint. He's Jerry's favorite saint. Okay, we love that. And that's the beauty of it. But he is a very active saint. He's amazing. He helps us find so many lost things, spiritual items as well, even lost people that have kind of walked away. St. Anthony has a great way of finding them. So let's talk about it today. Dial in 833-288-3986. Want to know how much I love St. Anthony?
Sure.
Marty was confirmed later in life. I was his sponsor. I have to say, I'm going to admit this on air, he wanted to take the name Francis. He loves St. Francis of Assisi. I made him take Anthony. Because I love the name. I love Anthony and I love St. Anthony, but I love St. Francis as well. And so I told him, you know what? You can take both. Take both.
Mm-hmm. What the lady wants, the lady gets, right?
Right. But I just don't. Yeah. Even what?
Even when it comes to confirmation names. Yeah, right.
Well, I was a sponsor. I thought I had some influence there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. But tell me what St. Anthony has done for you.
Well, like I said, I've had a number of opportunities to go to him in recent weeks and months. Actually, not too long ago, probably a few months ago, I was in a drive-through to get a bite of lunch, and I pulled my credit card out of my wallet, and I put my wallet back in my pocket, and I went to do something else. I can't remember what it was, but all of a sudden, my credit card was gone. It wasn't in my hand anymore. And I thought, this is really bizarre, because I was just holding on to it a few seconds ago. So immediately I went to St. Anthony, looked around as much as I could, and it had fallen down in the crack between the seat and the seat divider and then the front seat of the car. So that's not, maybe that's not as dramatic as some other stories of St. Anthony helping people find things, but I really needed it at that time, not just to pay that lunch bill, but also because you don't want to lose something like a credit card.
Right. Well, I have to tell you a funny story about a credit card, and I was very young. It was my first credit card. And I've told this story before, but this is a true story. I am not joking about this. And to this day, I can still see myself being, I think I was like 18, 19 years old. And this was, I can remember where I was in my closet in New Jersey. This is how I remember it so clearly, but I'll share that on the other side of the break. But Jerry, it's interesting about credit cards. Anybody else have that happen with St. Anthony and credit cards or money or something like that? Call in and share 833-288-3986. This was a perfect saint you picked. I love talking about St. Anthony.
Yeah. Oh, this is hilarious. You're going to love this. I just remembered this. Over at my parish, we have, we named some of the rooms. We have a St. Joseph room where RCIA is taught weekly. And in that room, there's a statue, literally about a 5-foot tall statue of St. Anthony, and he's missing a hand. And I was joking the other day with some of the RCIA people. I said, we need to pray to St. Anthony that he'll find his hand. Isn't that weird? He is missing his right hand.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, let's hear.
Pray. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear. Yeah, that would be a really good show if you're gonna all of a sudden tell us that the hand just appeared.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It may not appear reattached. It may appear in like a cupboard or a cabinet somewhere. Right. But we've got a lot of people that want to say something about this today. If you're trying to get through, be patient. This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. 833-288-3986. Have you turned to St. Anthony and received his help in finding something important that you lost or misplaced?
The most original and exclusive Catholic content is on EWTN Radio.
People who go to church on Sunday live on the average 5 years longer than the people who don't go. We're kind of made to go to worship God.
EWTN Live with Father Mitch Pacwa. Wednesday night, 8 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
Living the Beatitudes with Father Bjorn.
Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. We get what we look for. Saint Therese of Lisieux has an interesting insight on this. Once in a discussion over the possibility of avoiding purgatory, the future saint told another member of her community, Sister Maria Fabronia, that God was more father than judge. And in this debate, she finally took the liberty of saying to the other sister, "If you look for the justice of God, you will get it. The soul will receive from God exactly what she desires." Are we full of wounds and anger and hurt, and do we want to inflict that on other people? Are we allowing God to heal us? If we receive His mercy, we have to show it to others. The Beatitudes are the heart of Jesus' message. Let's be transformed by them. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
For more about the Beatitudes, visit EWTNRC.com.
Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you on EWTN Radio. Good to have you along today. Charles Beery is on the board running the controls. Rich Jesse, our producer. Matt Gabensky screening your calls, and he has been a busy young man here so far today. 833-288-3986 as we talk about Help from Above by St. Anthony, finding a lost item. I want to tell you, first of all, speaking of saints, there is a book called They Might Be Saints. It's on the path to sainthood in America, and it's by Michael O'Neill, the miracle hunter. He unveils 24 4 of America's greatest blesseds and venerables whose causes for canonization are already underway. You got people like Bishop Fulton Sheen. Many of you remember him of beloved memory. Pierre Toussaint, once a slave, then an entrepreneur devoted to the poor. You've got Father Patrick Peyton, the Rosary priest, and many others. In fact, the five foundresses of religious communities who produced thousands of teaching nuns. So check out this book at EWTNRC.com. It is They Might Be Saints on the Path to Sainthood in America, EWTNRC.com.
Love that book. Okay, that would be a great Christmas gift. Just wanted to say, Jerry, that we have Charles Beery is at the controls. He's our board op today. We have Rich Jesse as our producer and social media, so he's picking up all your comments, and Matt Kabinski is answering calls. So if you want to call in, dial 833-288-3986. And before we get to Christopher in Wichita, Kansas, I promised I would tell this story. This is a true story, folks. I'm not exaggerating. My parents gave me a credit card, my first credit card, but with the stipulation that if I lost it, they would kill me. Okay. I'm just saying they did, it was, figuratively, but I don't know. Maybe they would have chased me down and, but they said, we will kill you if you lose this credit card. Well, I lost the credit card because I must have had it in my pants pocket or something like that. And I ripped apart my closet several times, folks, could not find it. And I was sweating profusely. I thought, I cannot tell my parents I lost this credit card. I'm going to be in big trouble. I'll be grounded or whatever for life. And I remember my mother always said, go to St. Anthony. So I said, St. Anthony, please come around. There's something lost and must be found. And clear as a bell, I feel he told me to go back into the closet. And as I was walking back, it was a walk-in closet. And as I went back into the closet, I was thinking to myself, this is so stupid. I have torn apart this closet several times.
Right.
I walked in, it was a sliding door, closet door. I slid open the door and out flies the credit card from up above and hits me right in the forehead. I am not joking. It was like St. Anthony was in the closet and he just whipped the credit card and it hit me right in the forehead. Wow. Nobody believes me, but it's a true story.
I believe you.
I'm telling you. And I said, after that episode, after that situation, I have always gone to St. Anthony and he has never disappointed. Never. And I just think it was hilarious that he just kind of, threw the credit card at me like, hey, stupid, there's your credit card.
Well, what about you, Take Two family? We're going to hear from a lot of you. 833-288-3986. We are so blessed as Catholic Christians. We have the communion of saints, so many of whom have patronage assigned to them for St. Anthony, among other things. It is finding lost items. So Christopher in Wichita, as promised, is up first, listening on Catholic Radio Network. Hi, Christopher. Welcome.
Hi. How are you?
Doing okay. What you got for us on St. Anthony here?
Well, this might seem trite, but I'm a watchmaker, and I deal with the smallest little parts. And I swear, when I flip one or through the tweezers and I hear it hit the ceiling or hit a wall, I'm like, I know it's gone. And so I'll say a little prayer to St. Anthony, and then it's almost hopeless because it's a tiny, tiny little part. And I say a prayer to St. Jude. So I'm like, I'm going to look for it anyways, and I look and look and look, and then I look back up on my bench, and it's right there in front of me. It's so crazy. So I just thought I'd share that little story, excuse me, with y'all.
I love it, Christopher. And I just want to say something. I don't know if you heard my story about the credit card, but if you believe me that the credit card hit me in the head, I believe this about your watchmaking business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how St. Anthony always steps up and helps us?
It's amazing. It just reminds me of the miracles of God. It's just amazing.
Exactly.
It gives me that chills, the goosebumps, and I'm just like, oh, somebody's listening. And there are times in life when you think nobody's listening, but then there's that reminder that God is always there.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I do believe they have a sense of humor too. I do believe that. I believe so strongly because they walked this earth. Okay, and Padre Pio, they said, had a very just quick sense of humor. Okay. I love that. I love that they retain all that. I personally believe that St. Anthony threw that credit card at me, and it was kind of like funny. It was funny, and it made me laugh. I remembered, I knew he was there, just like with the watchmaking, Christopher, that they're there, and they're supporting us on the journey. I think it's a beautiful thing. That's what I love about our Catholic faith. It is so big, and it's a gigantic family. And what a great reunion we will all have with these wonderful saints when we, finish here, and God willing, we are in heaven. It'll just be like, oh, there's Saint Anthony, there's Saint Jude. To be so natural, right, Christopher?
Absolutely. And when I see that little part right in front of me, I laugh. So it's like that, like you're talking about, that sense of humor. It's like it was right there. It was either right there all along, or it showed up, and I just giggle every little time. It's a little, it might sound like I'm a little kid, but I giggle when I see that part. So as far as sense of humor, I know heaven is full of joy. So
yeah. And that giggle is just being childlike in Christ, Christopher, like we're called to be. So thanks so much for getting us started on the calls today. We appreciate that so much, and we're grateful to Catholic Radio Network for airing the program. St. Anthony, how has he helped you? 833-288-3986. We're going to go to Fox Lake, Illinois. Virginia is listening on WSFI. Hello, Virginia. Thank you for being part of our program today.
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to tell you that I pray to St. Anthony so many times, and 99% of the time I find what I lost. My most recent one was I had a diamond earring in my ear, and while watching TV, I felt the backing fell off. So I went and put another backing on, and the next morning took a shower, and the earring and the backing were missing. Mm-hmm. So we tore up the beds, in the living room, and I looked down the drain in the shower. I couldn't find it. I said, St. Anthony, please help me find that. It's the earring that my husband gave me. So, lo and behold, went right to the shower, and in the shower track was my diamond earring.
Is that right? Wow. Yeah. Well, and this one, Virginia, rises to the level of pretty significant because obviously there was an expense to that, but also the sentimental value that it had coming from your husband, and so beautiful story. Debbie, I know you were kind of echoing along with me there.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that took my breath away, Virginia. That is so beautiful. And I think that's what's so amazing about St. Anthony. If you read his life story, he had so many miracles attributed to him after his death, right? And what does that mean? That our saints are so active. They are right there when we ask them to help us out, because this is a difficult life. We are going to lose things. We are going to misplace things. Things are going to happen. There's going to be accidents. Stuff is going to transpire, and it's going to be frustrating for us, and they want to be there as a support. And that was a huge blessing for you, Virginia. I thought, what a great story.
Yeah. And there are many more I don't remember, but I always go to St. Anthony when I lose things.
Beautiful. Well, fantastic. We're so glad. We're happy with you. It's kind of like the widow who swept her house looking for the coin or whatever, and all of her neighbors rejoiced with her. We're happy with you and for you, Virginia, that you found that. Thanks so much for sharing that on the program. A little bit of social media here. If I can get to a couple. We are streaming live the video on Facebook and YouTube. Hello to you great people there. On Facebook, Bradley says, I have a friend who accidentally left her purse filled with valuables in a mall food court in Columbus. They then drove 60 miles north to go home. They were almost home when she realized it was missing. They said a prayer to St. Anthony. When she walked into her kitchen, her purse was waiting for her, hanging on a kitchen chair.
What?
Wow. Yeah, that's what Bradley says.
Okay, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's incredible. Miraculous, really. Wow. Any more? Do you see any more?
There's, I hope I get the name right, Suyapa says, I always pray to St. Anthony. Every time I have lost something and pray to him. And if I don't find it, I know there's a reason. Like a bracelet that was lost when I moved from my last place. He and St. Rita are my favorite saints, and so many others.
Yes. Beautiful.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, back to the phones we shall go. Let's go to Hector in Washington, listening on Sacred Heart Radio. Hi, Hector. Thanks for waiting and welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Yes, I have a story where I was with my coworker, and we were at a trade show. We're at a trade show booth, and we're all meeting with various customers coming through the travel show. And my coworker's not Catholic, so just keep that in mind as I say the story. But she loses a ring that she had on her finger. She had misplaced it while we were at the trade show, and she misplaced the ring. It meant a lot to her. It was a ring that her father had given to her and had a lot of meaning. So she was very, very scared. And her and I began to look for it. We spent about an hour and a half or so just looking for this ring. And so at the time, I recall my mom telling me about praying to St. Anthony. And so I thought, I need to do that. This is probably the first time I had done it. And so I go to behind the booth, and I say a prayer to St. Anthony and ask him for his intercession. And as soon as I get done with the prayer, I head back into the booth in front of the curtain. And my coworker, I explained to her what I did. And I explained, yes, in the Catholic faith, we pray to the saints for their intercession. And I know I have faith that it'll work. And she looked at me with these, just as I was explaining to her, like she wanted to cry. And I go, what's wrong? And she goes, I found the ring as you walked back. And she goes, I found it. It was in the giveaway item that we were going to give later in the day. We were going to give this grand prize. And it happened to be underneath all this filler that we put in to fill the basket. And for some reason, she said she looked in this corner and she found the ring. And wow. She was just in shock. She was shaking. I was even just shaking, but it was just, I had all this joy in me. I knew it was St. Anthony.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I've got a quick thought, Debbie, maybe then I'll let you go. But Hector, thanks for sharing this story. This is really beautiful. Another great example of the the prompt intercession of St. Anthony. And we know that one of the things he was known for was his incredible preaching and his conversion of so many people. And you might want to say that he is still preaching today through your example, Hector. I believe, you had a non-Catholic coworker here, and I'd be curious to know, did this cause your coworker to kind of start thinking about God or the Catholic faith or anything like that?
I'm not sure if she did, but I know she has a very strong Christian faith, and I think it just opened the doors to make her realize that, as Catholics, it is a faith that, that's the true faith. And I think it allowed the opportunity for her to open up and see that faith and learn more and not be afraid to learn more about Catholicism.
Yeah. Well, that's great because the intercession, praying to the saint, the communion of saints is often a real difficult part of the Catholic faith for non-Catholic people to experience. Right. So, Debbie, I'm just going to be praying that this experience that Hector is sharing did touch this coworker's heart in such a way that she will definitely, at least be open to the truth of the Catholic faith through this wonderful real life experience. Mm-hmm.
And I love yes, I agree. I'll pray as well. But I love, Hector, that you recalled your mom. Like I've done. With my mom having a devotion to St. Anthony, you recalled your mom having a devotion, and you went right to it. You prayed to St. Anthony, and boom, there was the wonderful mini miracle, if you will, that happened through St. Anthony's help. And I just think, how incredible is that? His feast day is in June. We're having this conversation now. We're honoring St. Anthony. Why do we have conversations like this? Because by human nature, we easily forget, right? Jerry, we get on with the world, and we forget that there are miracles all around us. The saints are wanting to help us, wanting to journey with us, our guardian angels as well. This is an incredible journey that we are on. And so having conversations like this, and Hector, with this example that you just gave, it reinforces how much we need to remember and believe and have faith and trust that all of heaven is pulling for us. And that's a beautiful thing. And we need that right now, don't we, Jerry?
We do. We most definitely do. And Hector, thank you so much for helping us move this program along with another great, inspiring program. Keep listening there on Sacred Heart Radio, and keep listening to Take Two, and call again anytime. We appreciate you joining us on the program. We have some more, a lot of other emails and social media coming in.
We do.
On Facebook, Francis says, yes, I pray to St. Anthony. St. Anthony always helped my family find things, keys, cards, etc. We're really amazed when we find lost things in just 2 to 5 minutes after asking for help. Like I was saying at the start of the show, Debbie, I can't remember. And the last several times I've asked for St. Anthony's help in finding something that it took more than 5 minutes. I can't remember a time when it did.
Yep. It's so true. The saints are very active and very quick. Heaven moves fast when we lean on them, right? And we want their support and help. So call in about St. Anthony today at 833-288-3986. This is a great, great conversation we're having here on Take Two.
The words of Blessed Carlo Acutis.
Our goal must be infinite, not finite. The infinite is our homeland. Heaven has been waiting for us forever.
Have you had your free consultation yet with one of our certified life coaches? Schedule one now at standtalltoday.com. Life coaches are trained, caring people who walk side by side with you as you seek to maximize your God-given potential and live your life's purpose with passion. And there's no better place to get started than with a free consultation at standtalltoday.com. That's standtalltoday.com, where you can start to unlock your incredible future.
Hi, I'm Doug Keck. This is an EWTN bookmark brief. Just had the pleasure of speaking with Anthony DeStefano about his latest book, Joseph's Donkey, published by Sophia Institute Press, available naturally through the EWTN Religious Catalog. So, Anthony, another children's book, this one on Joseph's Donkey. Why?
Well, Joseph's Donkey, it tells the story of a donkey purchased by St. Joseph shortly before his marriage to Our Lady. He takes the child Jesus to pray. He's always taking the child to pray every day in spots by himself. So in his mind, he realized that the child must be praying, and where to pray best but in the temple. So it was an insight that he had based on all the time that he spent with the child over the years.
Okay, very good, Anthony. Joseph's Donkey is the title, available through our EWTN Religious Catalog, a wonderful picture book and story for young people, perfect for Christmas. I'm Doug Keck. This has been an EWTN Bookmark Brief. Thank you for stopping by. We shall see you next time.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. We embrace the essence of feminine spirituality on Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you. It is your show, and as the co-owners of the program, you are taking it and running with it and making it a great conversation today about St. Anthony's help from above. 833-288-3986. Among other things, St. Anthony is well known for a lot of things, but kind of on the day-to-day sort of thing, he is known for helping us find things when they are lost. Does it happen 100% of the time? Probably not, but we're hearing a lot of great stories about how it has happened. And next, we're going to hear from Kathy in Swanton, Ohio, listening on Annunciation Radio. Hello, Kathy. Welcome to Take Two.
Hi, Jerry. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I just wanted to share, a couple years ago, I was flying home from Connecticut. I was really, really sick, and I had my laptop in my hand when I got off the plane, went to use the restroom, came out to wash my hands, leaned my laptop up against the wall right underneath where the paper towels are, and I walked out without my laptop. I got all the way back to Maumee, Ohio, to my doctor's office in the parking lot, and I thought, well, I have time to kill. I'll just pull my laptop out.
Mm-hmm.
And it hit me, oh, my gosh, I left it in the bathroom. So as soon as I got out of my doctor appointment, I went over to Costco, bought another laptop. immediately I prayed to St. Anthony. Let me back up there. He was the first one I went to, and I said, St. Anthony, I am putting you on the biggest challenge you'll ever have for me. So lo and behold, 2 weeks later, I got a phone call, a third phone call from the security at the Detroit airport, and they had found my laptop. So I have been praising St. Anthony. I mean, every time I lose something or I talk about losing something, I always share how St. Anthony miraculously found my laptop.
Wow. You know, Kathy, as I was thinking about how you said that you leaned the laptop up in the restroom and then you left, I could only imagine when you got back to, I think you said, Mommy, Ohio, I can only imagine how you just panicked. I mean, that sense of, oh, how do I even try to retrace the steps and get this back? I mean, I could just imagine you must have just, it just hit you really hard, right?
It did, and it was a brand new. I had just gotten a laptop within that year, and so I went over to Costco and bought a real cheap one and tried to locate my laptop through my program that I have set up. But I had to fill out paperwork online to have them find it and give the description of where I left it and so forth, so on and so forth. So anyway, I'm amazed that he found it. And a real quick one, I had my firstborn baby. I had put my father's baby ring on him. And I know when I was feeding him cereal, I must have had taken it off inside, with a paper towel, cleaning off his little patties. And I was just heartsick because that ring has been, since my father, and then I wore it, and my brothers wore it, and my children wore it. And I knew it was gone. I just knew. It was in the garbage.
But you found it, Kathy?
Yep, it was found. I was running the sweeper, and it just popped. It was like it was in my sweeper and popped right out in front of me.
Wow. That's amazing. I share with you the left behind laptop in an airport, Kathy. And there's such a panic that comes over you because you got it's your life is in that machine if you travel a lot, and especially some very sensitive things, parts of your life and emails and stuff like that. But also I had an experience in another airport where actually people who know me, Debbie, you'll laugh. I travel very casually. I'm usually in shorts and a shirt or something, and I had my wallet in my shorts pocket, and it fell out as I was in the bathroom, in the restroom, and I got to security, and I'm checking all my pockets going, I knew I had my wallet. It was just right here. So the only place I knew to go back to was that restroom, and God bless the gentleman who was cleaning in there. He was actually on his way to try to find me because he figured he knew where I was going was to security.
Wow.
So we met about halfway back, and I just breathed the deepest sigh of relief. So, Kathy, I can relate to all of your stories today. Thanks so much for calling in from Swanton, Ohio. We appreciate that, and for listening to us on Annunciation Radio. Deb?
Yes, thank you, Kathy. That was a beautiful call. And we've got more social media coming in. You're also emailing us, take2@ewtn.com. But the phone lines are full. So we'll move next to Lauren. Lauren in Atlanta, Georgia, listening on our friends at the Quest. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for waiting and welcome.
Hey there. St. Anthony has never let me down, not once. So I have to say, over the course of decades, he has just come through. But one recent one, when you asked about the credit card situation, was about 6 months ago. I was in Costco, and you have to flash your membership card when you walk in. So I always have my credit card and my membership card in my hand. I slip them into my pants pocket, jeans, whatever, when I walk in the door. And when I went to go pay, the credit card was missing. And I thought, oh my gosh, where was I that I put my hand in my pocket? How did it get lost? And, of course, it was busy. I was freaking out, thinking, oh, my gosh, I've lost it. And it was a debit card, so that's even more dangerous. And I just started running through the store quickly, scooting through to try and find it. And on one of the busiest aisles, from about 20-foot distance, I'm looking, and there's people all over, but I caught a glimpse of something shining and thought, what could that be it? And I went towards it, and it ended up being my debit card upside down on the tile floor. And what caught my eye was that little hologram that they have on the back, that little tiny square, and it glimmered, and that was what caught my eye. But if the card had been face up, it would have been colorful enough that anybody would have noticed it.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was upside down, the back of it was gray, and it had the black stripe on it. But again, it was very hard to. It was just innocuous in the sea of people. But I couldn't believe I actually found it, and it was upside down, and it was that little shimmer that caught my eye as I was scanning the row, and obviously that was St. Anthony.
Yeah. Wow, my beautiful story. You talk about it, and it's like how unlikely is it that nobody else would see it, and hopefully would turn it in if they did. But the fact is that nobody did. And you mentioned the sea of people. Maybe that was the reason that nobody saw it, because I know at the times when I go to Costco nowadays, it's so busy that you're trying to weave your way in and around and through people and find what you're looking for to buy, that my eyes usually aren't focused down on the ground. But how providential that it was the backside up, Lisa, like you said. And
Lauren.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Lauren, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the board there.
But you know what? There's something to that, Jerry and Lauren, because let me just read to you Laura on Facebook. Okay, Laura says, so listen to this, Lauren. I found the diamond out of my wedding ring within minutes of asking St. Anthony to tell me where to look. When I lost my contact, I asked for his help, and within minutes I noticed a stream of light coming through a window which made my contact sparkle on the carpet. He is so awesome. There's something to that, Lauren. Why is that? I think that St. Anthony places things so that we can find it, we can see it, so we stop the stress, just like with Laura's contact and you with the credit card, same thing. With me, he had to throw it at me and had to hit me in the head. But you know what I'm saying with this, Jerry? I think there's something to that St. Anthony wants to stop the stress of us panicking. What do you think, Lauren?
Absolutely. I mean, the debit card, they could have spent all they wanted until it was gone.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. I know. So this is the beauty of our heavenly support. They want us to be at peace, to maintain joy, to keep the hope, to keep the trust, and they're there to support us. This is a beautiful conversation. I pray that a lot of young people are listening to this conversation, so you realize you're not alone. You're not traveling this world alone. So Lauren, I love your story. Stick to it and keep telling it. Okay.
Amen.
All right. God bless you, Lauren.
Amen.
Okay, I started to call her Lisa because Lisa has a button that's flashing in my face that says she is up next, and it was with great joy that we welcome you, Lisa, to the program. Thanks for waiting from Lynchburg, Virginia. Welcome.
Thank you.
Sure.
So my story is I have a neighbor who is also Catholic. She lives across the street. Her and I both have dogs. And she came over to pet my dog, Gracie. And unbeknownst to me, her a wedding band, she said it didn't have a lot of value, but it was sentimental, had slipped off her finger. And so when I saw her, she was out in the grass, sifting through the grass, trying to find it. So I came out, and we both were sifting through the grass, and I kept saying, okay, where were you standing? And, so we did all that, and we couldn't find it. So I went in the house, and she left. And then I'd also told her before we went in, I said, we need to pray to St. Anthony to find it. And she said, you're right. So we did. So we both went in, came back outside about an hour later, and I came out and stood in the middle of the street. And I said, okay, St. Anthony, show me where this ring is. And I even took a flashlight at one point, thinking I could, it would shine on the flashlight, and still nothing in the grass. And so I was standing in the street and happened to look at my feet, and there was this tiny little wedding band at my feet, just sitting there. And I said, oh, my gosh, that is like crazy. I said, thank you, St. Anthony. Maybe you threw it out of the grass and onto the street. And Jackie came out and, said, I can't believe you found it. And so she was very happy. And, we talked, we laughed about how St. Anthony helped her. And so that was a pretty good St. Anthony story.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I love it, but I have to tell you, Lisa, I was stuck on when you said you have a dog named Gracie, because that was my dog's name. I love that name for a dog. So I just think it's such a beautiful name for a pet. It's a great name for a human being, but I mean it's a great name for a pet. But Lisa, interestingly enough, so the ring was right by your feet again. To just be right. Obviously right in front of us, right? So that we stop all of the worry that comes with losing things. Because I think it does make us very uneasy. It makes us, and it frustrates us because we're like, how did that happen? Why did that happen? We start to replay it, right? So Lisa, I'm so glad you found it, and I'm glad you have your dog named Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Blessings, Lisa. Thanks for being a part of the program today. We appreciate it very much. It reminds me of that time I've shared this on the air, I think, before, Debbie, but my uncle wore a ring. He was a priest for 55 years, missionary priest in Thailand, and he had a very simple silver ring with a raised cross. And upon his death, my mother got it, and then it was given to me one year for Christmas. And I was at my sister and brother-in-law's house, and I actually ran it through the washing machine by accident. And I couldn't find it again, so I had to come home, back down to California. They live up in Washington. And I was just praying to St. Anthony. And my brother-in-law was doing a load of laundry, and he saw caught in that rubber ring, it's almost impossible. You wouldn't look for anything in there, but just some little bit of a glimmer. And he looked down there, and it had gotten caught in that rubber ring that kind of surrounds the front of the washing machine. And so, I will never doubt St. Anthony, and I hope anyone listening will not either. As you were saying, especially young people, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But the contact story about people who wear eye contacts, I've heard that before, that, because you can lose them very easily, especially if, they just pop off, or soft contacts and they just, fly off somewhere. But a lot of people pray to St. Anthony, and he has just an amazing way of finding them. And it's just so beautiful, because you need those to help you see, right? So he wants to help us. I mean, I love this. I love this conversation. I can continue on all week long. Things like this really, they just keep me going. May I just say this, though, because I want to share this with our listeners. Very, very important. The Holy Mass from Our Lady of the Angels Chapel. It's every morning, folks, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on EWTN Radio, and it's every 2 hours on EWTN Radio Essentials. If you cannot physically get to Mass, please listen to Mass. It's so important and a great way to start your day. And EWTN has you covered with the beautiful Holy Mass, which I think is very powerful. Well, it's a source and summit of our faith, the Eucharist. So it's all about our Masses, right?
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely.
Our liturgies, yeah.
Well, let's see what Anna has to say in Land O'Lakes, Florida. And Anna, we thank you for listening on the EWTN app, and welcome to Take Two.
Hi, yes, thank you. Thanks for taking my story.
Yeah.
This happened back in 1995, and it's my favorite, most miraculous St. Anthony experience. I was working in an office, and at the time I was a single parent with a 2-year-old baby. And I get to work, and as always, I store my purse in this overhead cabinet I had in my cubicle. I didn't lock it, but it was out of sight. When I went to, I had bought coffee that morning when I got to work, so I know I had my wallet with me. When I went to lunch, my wallet was gone. Someone had snuck into my office when I wasn't there, apparently took my wallet. And I prayed. They left my purse. They just took the wallet. So I prayed to St. Anthony. I said, please, if they need the money that much, they can keep it. I just want my wallet back. And I didn't carry a lot of money for that very reason. So I didn't have a lot of money to begin with in there. But, I needed it, and it was gone. But I said, if you could just please return the wallet, because it had pictures of my baby. It had my credit card, my driver's license, Social Security, like stuff I couldn't afford to take off work and pay for again. And don't you know, the next day when I got back into the office, I lift the door of that overhead cabinet, and my wallet is sitting right there in the center of the cabinet. No money, but the rest of my contents were in my wallet.
Wow. Yeah, another home run for St. Anthony there. Although, like you said, you did lose the cash, which is the least important of all of those things. And actually, it's interesting, Anna. As I was kind of looking a little bit into why St. Anthony is the patron of lost things a little bit before the program today. One of the reasons, at least this is something I read on a Catholic site about him, is that one of his when he was living in the religious community, a novice took a book of Psalms that belonged to him, and he prayed to God that it would come back, and the novice did return it. So it's interesting. You had your wallet. It sounds like stolen, but thanks be to God, somebody had at least the character, to return that, albeit without the money. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, but again, St. Anthony knew how much you wanted the pictures and the sentimental reasons. And of course, your credit cards, your license and everything. And so again, it's that beautiful comfort that our saints bring, because they've walked this earth. They know how hard it is to go through this thing called life, right? And I just think, how beautiful is that? What a great story. I hope you continue. I'm sure you're telling that to, how many children do you have, Anna?
I just have the one child, and yes, I've told that story many, many times to a lot of different people.
Beautiful. I love it. Great story. May I ask a question? Land O'Lakes, Florida, is that where they get the butter from?
No, it's not.
No,
I think that's in Minnesota or somewhere in the Midwest, I think.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just curious. I always loved Land O'Lakes butter. Yeah, no, I was just curious if that's where it's from. That's interesting. What a great city you live in. That's so cool. Well, thank you so much for telling your story today. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. God bless. Bye. Okay, winding down the program. Hopefully we'll get a few more calls on the air. Father Charlie is in Rochester, New York, listening on the Station of the Cross. Hello, Father Charlie. Welcome to Take Two.
Hi.
Hello. Hi there.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you now just fine. Go right ahead.
Well, I had the opportunity with a priest friend of mine to go to Padua and to go to the Basilica of St. Anthony. We had just happened to be there, so we figured, why not? So when we got into the Basilica, we noticed that there was a line of people, and they went up to the sarcophagus of St. Anthony. Mm-hmm. Of course, all this was new to me, and I went, wow, I had a devotion to St. Anthony, but it really got intense there, because when I got up to the sarcophagus, I touched it, and I was hit with this profound power of peace. Wow. And I had to get back in line again, because I thought, oh, this is just emotionalism. But when reality, I had no expectation. So when I touched that a second time, oh my God, I couldn't let go. I was just filled with a feeling of spiritual peace that I had never had in my entire life. And I had a priest friend. He did the same thing first, then went in his car to wait. So I joined him, and God, we were driving out of Padua, and we were silent. And then finally, he asked me, "Did you notice something different?" And I just spilled out. We both spilled out to each other and shared this deep spiritual experience that we had.
Wow. Father, may I ask you, did you make the connection that you both being priests and St. Anthony being such a great preacher himself when he walked this earth, did you make that connection that there was some kind of direct, maybe just a special gift for both of you as priests?
I had a reputation for being a great preacher. Mm-hmm. I also had a special gift of working with the youth. I became diocesan director of youth ministry for teen retreats, young adult retreats, and all that kind of thing. And so it was because of that talent that I was doing that. And that ties in also with my spiritual faith with St. Anthony.
Wow, fantastic. What an incredible gift, Father, that you were given, and your priest friend as well. And you didn't say how long ago this was, but I imagine it was some time back, and it still has this impact on you as you're telling the story. We can just hear from your heart just how much and how meaningful this experience was for you. So
There's one ironic thing.
Sure.
One ironic thing. When it came time to move, I lost the relic. That was what I forgot to mention. I got a relic, a first-class relic of St. Anthony. I took it with me to visit the sick, and they got better. That was the other thing. But when I moved, I lost the first-class relic that I had received, and I have yet to find it. I'll never find it. And so the fun party thing is, St. Anthony, find yourself, will you please?
Find yourself, yeah. A relic, first-class relic of St. Anthony. Yeah, Father, you know better than any of us do not to say never in a case like this. You've been listening to some of the stories that people have shared, and you may have your own beautiful St. Anthony story of helping you to find that first-class relic of him. So God bless you, Father Charlie from Rochester. We're so glad that you called in and listened to the program. Thank you most of all. Debbie joins me in this, and we all do. Thank you for your vocation, your yes to God, and being a priest for us, the sheep of the Lord. So thank you, Father Charlie. We appreciate it.
God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you. Wow.
Beautiful
What a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I hope he gets another first-class relic.
Yeah, or that one
wonderful?
back.
Yeah, or that one back. We have, Jerry, you need to make an executive decision. We have almost full phone lines and lots of social media, lots of emails and text messages coming in.
Yeah, well, occasionally you, the Take Two family, vote by your participation, and we're going to do a part 2 on this program tomorrow. We were going to talk about, do you have a nickname and do you like it, but we'll just move that topic down a little bit so we get to talk more about these great almost miracle stories of St. Anthony helping us find things. So if you're on the line right now, please, we apologize, we're just up against the clock, but you'll be the first on the air if you call tomorrow. Just let Matt Gabensky know you were waiting online today. Okay.
So, Enda, that means you, who called back twice from Texas, you would be first up tomorrow, and you can tell us all about St. Anthony. We want you to do that. Michael as well, Cease as well. You guys are awesome. Everybody on social media, keep the conversation going. Let's have a full St. Anthony Fest the rest of today and into the evening, and tomorrow morning we'll continue with a part 2 of St. Anthony. If you're really close to him, they've often say you can just say, instead of the St. Anthony prayer, you can just say, Tony, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Well, fantastic. Again, Rich Jesse, our producer, Matt Gabensky on the phones, Charles Beery on the controls today. Affiliates, thank you so much for carrying the program. And Take Two family, thank you. We're going to do this topic again tomorrow. So until then, have a beautiful and blessed day. And in the year of St. Joseph, we continue to pray. St. Joseph, please pray for us. Amen.
Please, St. Joseph.
EWTN is everywhere.